Hello students, I'm here with another video from the chapter of class 7th Science NCERT book. The name of the chapter is the chapter number 12, which is the reproduction in plants. So children, before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that in this chapter what all things we have discussed so far. So we have seen about the process of modes of reproduction in the plants, where we saw that there are two modes of reproduction. That is, one is the asexual mode of reproduction and the second one is the sexual mode of reproduction. Okay, so we have completely discussed about the asexual mode of reproduction in the plants, where we saw about the vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation we have seen about the cutting, layering, grafting, and we have seen about the budding, fragmentation and spore formation. So here in these conditions, you can see that there is no involvement of the gametes which are present in the plant cells. Okay, so here only the vegetative parts are responsible for the development of a new plant, new type of the organism. That is, new plant is being grown because of the old plant or the parent plant. Okay, we have seen that in the example of the underground stem, which is potato, in which we can see that from the eyes of the potato the new plants are developing. Similarly, we can see that in the ginger or in the onion or in the bryophyllum, the different types of the parts, the different parts of the plant is responsible for the development of a new plant. For example, in the case of bryophyllum leaf, you can see that the buds are coming out from the margins, and these margins are also known to be as the notches. So from the notches, the new plants are being developed, and these plants are you could put off these plants from that leaf, from that developing leaf, and then you could plant or you can sow in the soil, and then again it becomes a new plant. Fine. Then again we saw about budding, which takes place in the yeast cells, which are the fungi, where the multiple budding or the single budding could also take place. Then similarly we can see about the fragmentation, where the algae are going to be broken down into fragments, and each fragment could replace their own the organs which are being absent or which are not present in the organism. I mean, in the algae, if some organs are being it is being cut because of certain accident or in the unfavorable conditions, it could happen. Then what happens, the lost part is again regained, and this process is known as fragmentation, because each fragment could grow into a new individual of the algae. Next is, we saw about the spore formation. What are the spores? The spores are the very tiny structures which behaves like seeds, and whenever it is going to fall on any surface, it is going to produce a new plant. In a similar way as that of the seeds are being produced, and these seeds are going to germinate, and then they are going to form a new plant. Okay, so here also the spores are responsible for the development of the new fungi. Actually, these fungus or the fungi are not the very advanced form of the plants, as they don't have roots, they don't have proper stem, they don't have proper leaves. There the leaf-like structure is present, the stem-like structure is present, the root-like structure is present. We don't say that it is a true root or it is a true stem or it is a true leaves. So when these plants are present and these plants are not able to survive properly, so what happens, they are going to take up the nutrition from some other plant. अब some other plant की अगर हम बात करते हैं, तो some other plant में भी plant ना होकर के जो dead and decaying remains होते हैं, उनके ऊपर ये सारे fungus grow करते हैं. So these fungi will take up the saprophytic mode of nutrition, and for that they don't require a very good type of the root or very advanced type of the roots. The rhizoids are present, root-like structures are present at the base of the stem. At the base of each part of the stem, you can see that rhizoids are there. These rhizoids which are coming out from the fungus, and then what happens, they are going to take up the nutrition which is already present in the dead and decaying remains. Fine, so this was all about the asexual mode of reproduction in the plants. Now we move on to the sexual mode of reproduction in plants. Now today's topic would be the have learned that in the earlier classes the structure of flower. You know that flowers are the reproductive part of the plant. Yes. Till now we were talking about, I said that when in the plants there are two parts, vegetative part and the reproductive part. Okay. So here if we talk about the vegetative part, we can take the example as roots, stem, leaves. Okay. And if we take up the reproductive part, the example is only flower. Okay. Now, these flowers are responsible for the other mode of reproduction. Okay. Why? Because plants are the parts, the flowers are the parts which has two different parts, that is the female reproductive part of the plant. Similarly, it has a male reproductive part of the plant. As you all know the structure of the flower, in the previous class you already have studied about the structure of flower, that is they have the structures like sepals, petals, stamen and pistil. So these are the four parts of the flower which are present in the flower. Okay. So if we talk about these parts of the plant flowers, these are as sepals, petals, stamen and pistil. ठीक है. अभी इसका कहाँ क्या पोजीशन है, किधर ये पार्ट्स प्रेजेंट हैं फ्लावर में, वी ऑलरेडी नो दैट. ठीक है. Still, I think if you have forgotten the structure of flower, you can draw it like in a very simple manner. Okay, so we'll just draw the structure of flower. Fine, so this is the structure of a flower. We can see that the structure of a flower which has, you can see sometimes it is closed और sometimes it is open. ठीक है. तो यहाँ पर जो structures हमने लिखे हैं वो कहाँ present हैं? We have sepals, we have petals. Okay, sepals means these two, both of them are sepals, so we can write on single. We have petals, all these are the petals. Then next we have the stem, this is pistil and this is stem. ठीक है. अब हमें जो ज़रूरत है इस चैप्टर के लिए, इस चैप्टर में हमें दो गैमेट्स का फॉर्मेशन देखना है. The gametes are produced inside the parts of a flower. Now, which parts of the flower are responsible for the gamete development? Before that, I must say that these parts of the flower, इसमें जो दो parts है, that is the female reproductive parts, ठीक है, and the male reproductive what are the function of these parts of the flower? The function is the sepals are going to guard the unopened flower, that is, it is going to protect the bud. Fine. And what is the function of petal? These are the colorful part of a flower which is responsible for the pollination. Okay. Next, what is this? Stamen. This is the male reproductive part of a flower. Similarly, what is pistil? Pistil is the female reproductive part of a flower. Now we'll see that what are the different parts which are present in the stamen and the pistil. Okay, we'll read all this. Fine, we'll read from, and this is fine. So now we will write down the names which are present. The upper part is known as stigma. This is known as style, and this is known as ovary, and these are the ovules. Okay. Now here this is anther, this is filament. Now together with this, these two are known as stamen, and these parts are known as pistil. Okay. Now if we consider these two parts, here only the two types of the cells are produced which are responsible for the development of the seeds. Now what are these two parts? What are these two cells? What are these two structures which are present in the that is the female reproductive part and the male reproductive part. Actually, what is the function of these parts? The function of the female reproductive part is to produce ovules, to produce ovules, and these are the female gametes. Okay, these are the female gametes. Similarly, what is the function of anther? The function of anther is to produce pollen grains. These pollen grains are nothing but they are the male gametes. Fine, these are the male gametes. Now, when these male gamete and the female gametes are responsible for the seed formation. Okay, so these are responsible for the seed formation. Now, how the seeds are being formed, how these gametes are going to help in the formation of a new plant, we'll discuss. That is next part of the chapter. We'll discuss it in after this finishing whatever it is present. Now, we have seen that these are the two reproductive parts of the flower. Now, sometime what happens, these two parts are present in the same flower as I have drawn here on the board. This is present on the same, inside the same flower. So, when the female reproductive part and the male reproductive parts are present in the same flower, such flowers or such types of the flowers are known as the bisexual flower. And next type is when either of the male and female reproductive parts are present in any one type of flower, in any one flower, then it is known as the unisexual flower. Okay? Fine? So this is known as unisexual flower. For example, papaya. For example, watermelon. These are the unisexual plants having unisexual flower because either of the male or the female flower is present in the plant. Sometimes plants are only different. Sometimes what happens, half of the flowers are the male flowers, half of the flowers are the female flowers, as only one of the gametes are being produced from these types of the flowers. Okay. Now we move on to the next thing which is there in your book. We'll discuss that as activity number 12.4. It is given, take a mustard, China rose or a petunia flower and separate its reproductive parts. Study the various parts of a stamen and pistil as I have drawn here. Okay, we have seen this. Now here what happens, if the flower contains either only the pistil or the stamen, either pistil or stamen is present in a flower, then such kind of flowers are known as the unisexual flowers. And flowers which contains both the pistil and the stamen, for example corn, papaya, cucumber, all these are the unisexual flowers because they have only the stamen or only the pistil in one flower. Okay? With where the mustard, rose, petunia, they are the bisexual flowers because both of the parts, that is stamen and pistil, are present in the same flower. Now both male and female unisexual flowers may be present on the same plant or they could be present on the different plants. This is what I was telling you, that sometimes what happens, the flowers are present on the separate plants. I mean, one type of flower, that is the male flower or the female flower, is one at the one plant, and the other plant could become the female plant or the male plant. Okay, because the flowers are separately present. Could you identify the anther and the filament in the stamen? Yes, we have identified that this is the anther, which is the swollen part of the filament, which is having the small tiny structures which are known as the pollen or the pollen grains. Both are correct. So pollen or the pollen grains are the cells which is said to be as the male gamete. Fine. So all the anthers, they contain pollen grains which produce the male gametes. A pistil is consisting of stigma, style and ovary, which has one or more ovules. As I have written ovules, so these are many in number. एक भी हो सकता है, एक से ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है. ठीक है, तो अभी कितने ovules, जितने भी ovules present, these ovules are nothing but these are the female gametes, or they could also be known as the eggs, which are formed in the form of an ovule. In the sexual reproduction, a male and a female gamete fuses to form a zygote. अब एक नया स्ट्रक्चर यूज करना है हमें, वर्ड क्या यूज करना है हमें, whenever the fusion of the gametes, that is the male gamete and the female gamete, are going to fuse together, fusion of male gamete with the female gamete will give rise to zygote. ठीक है, this gives rise to the zygote. I'll write it down here. Okay, till now we were talking about the fragmentation, budding, we have talked about the spore formation. There, zygote was not formed, whereas in this type of the reproduction where the gametes were involved, where male gamete is fusing with the female gamete, here the zygote is being formed. Okay. So Bujo wants to know how male gamete in the pollen grains reaches to the female gamete present in the ovule. For this, we have to study about the next process called the pollination. Okay, so we'll be studying about pollination now. The question arises that the both the parts are present in a separate flowers, then how do these zygote would be formed? Zygote is only formed when the gametes are fusing, but one gamete is far away from the another one. How the zygote would be formed if they are not getting fused? So for this we need to study about the next process called the pollination. Now what do you understand by the pollination word? Pollination means it is generally the pollen grains have a tough protective coat which prevents them from drying. अगर आप pollen grains का structure देखेंगे, so you will find that these are the microscopic structure contains two different layers, and the one layer is inner layer is known as intine and the outer layer is known as exine. ठीक है? Outer layer is known as exine. Okay, now here we have one pore which is known as the germ pore. Actually इतना ज़्यादा आपको नहीं पढ़ना, इसलिए I won't go in the details of these structures of the pollen grains, but still you should know for your information. Okay, now it is covered with, it is protected, the pollen grains are protected with tough covering. It is protected with a tough covering of the cells which helps male gamete. Actually male gamete is nothing but it is a nucleus. Okay, so it is going to protect the nucleus inside. Now since pollen grains are very light, they could be carried by the wind or water. Insects also are visiting the flowers and they may carry the pollen grains on their bodies. Some of the pollen lands on the stigma of the flower, the same kind, and this transfer of the pollen grains from anther to stigma of the flower is known as pollination. Now the definition over here comes as the pollination takes place because of the transference of the gametes from anther to stigma. See, male gamete is produced here inside the anther, which in the form of the pollen grains. So what could be the definition of pollination? It is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of a flower. ठीक है? So it is a transference of pollen grains from anther to stigma of a flower. अब conditions यहाँ पे क्या बनती है? Flowers could be present, might be present on the same plant. Okay, conditions क्या क्या बन रही है? Flowers may be present at the same plant. Flowers might be present on the different plant. ठीक है? Or both the parts, that is anther, the pollen and the pollen grain and the ovule might be present in the same flower. ठीक है? सेम फ्लावर की कंडीशन हमने कहाँ देखी थी? बाइसेक्सुअल फ्लावर में. ठीक है। अदर सेम प्लांट में भी ऐसा भी हो सकता है, बोथ ऑफ दीज कंडीशंस आर प्रेजेंट इन द यूनिसेक्सुअल फ्लावर। अभी जस्ट हमने थोड़ी देर पहले देखा था इसके बारे में कि अगर एक ही प्लांट में, एक ही फ्लावर में दोनों ही पार्ट्स प्रेजेंट है, then that would not be a problem because anthers are producing pollen grains which could be carried to the stigma of the same flower. ठीक है, in the same plant, एक ही फ्लावर में दोनों पार्ट्स प्रेजेंट है। क्योंकि अब एक कंडीशन आती है जहां पे दोनों प्लांट्स अलग अलग है, कभी कभी पूरा प्लांट अलग है, कभी कभी पूरा फ्लावर अलग है, तो दोनों ही कंडीशंस में it has to travel some distance, which who has to travel? These anthers, these pollen grains are going to. The pollen grains are very light. They are the powdery substances which are present inside the anther, and these anthers are having the pollen grains. अब ये pollen grains क्या होंगे, एक जगह से दूसरी जगह ट्रांसफर होते हैं। इसी प्रोसेस को हम क्या कह रहे हैं? Pollination. This process is known as pollination. When the pollination is happening, then it could happen on its own, then it is known as self-pollination. When the flowers are present, when both the parts are present in the same flower. And sometimes what happens, the flowers are different, the plants become different. Sometimes same plant में अलग अलग flowers हो सकते हैं, तो उस condition में एक दूसरे टाइप का pollination होगा, उसको हम बोलते हैं cross pollination. ठीक है, तो there are two types of pollination. We'll study about the two types of pollination. So what are these two types of pollination? It could be I will draw a small structure. And this could also be visible, I think. Same variety है flower की। Okay, or it could take place in the single flower. Okay, we'll study about the different types of pollination now. I said that anthers are producing pollen grains. These are producing pollen grains. Pollen grains could transfer from one plant to the other plant, जिसमें स्टिग्मा प्रेजेंट है। ठीक है, तो एक प्लांट से दूसरे प्लांट में अगर ट्रांसफर हो, एक फ्लावर से दूसरे फ्लावर में अगर pollen grains ट्रांसफर होता है, दिस इज नोन एज क्रॉस pollination. Okay, and if the pollen grains are transferred from the anther to the stigma of the same flower, then this is known as self-pollination. As you could all understand the difference between the self-pollination and the cross-pollination, here in the self-pollination, single flower is responsible for self-pollination, where the anthers are producing pollen grains would transfer to the stigma of the same flower. But here what happens, this is first plant and this is the second plant, and the flowers are far away. Either it could happen that if the flowers are present on the same plant, okay, sometime it is present on the same plant. So एक flower का anther is going to produce pollen grains, which is going to move from one flower to another flower, but लेकिन जो plant है that is same. कभी कभी plant क्या होगा, दूसरा भी हो सकता है, एक जरूरी तो नहीं कि अगर जो flower एक ही जगह present है, बहुत सारे plants हो सकते हैं। तो अगर एक फ्लावर का pollen grains दूसरे फ्लावर के पास आ जाता है, दिस इज ऑल्सो नोन एज क्रॉस पॉलिनेशन. बोथ ऑफ द केसेस आर ऑफ क्रॉस पॉलिनेशन. फ्लावर बदल गया, फ्लावर अगर चेंज हो रहा है, इट इज cross-pollination. Very simple. Whether the flower is present in the same plant or it is present in a different plant, in both the cases, it would be cross-pollination. And self-pollination, the flower is not going to change. That would be the similar single flower where both the gametes are produced and both are getting transferred. So this is known as the self-pollination. So children, this was all about the video. I will be meeting you all in the next class, and then we'll be discussing some more points related to this topic. So you can discuss, you can read the chapter, and if you find any difficulty, you can ask me in your online class.